Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another Limbus Company reaction. Today we have Canto 7 Boss Theme 2. I've already listened to 1, and the comment here from Dude P actually said I should listen to 3, but only after I listened to both of the first ones before it. So that's what I'm doing today, so I can maybe get to 3. And since I already have some sort of a context about the sound I'm going to hear and what the overall vibe is, where the direction's going, I have a feeling, obviously, what I'm going to be hearing now, but I won't know exactly what it is or if it's going to use any of the stuff I've heard prior as a reference or some sort of a motif, so I won't know if I don't listen. And without further ado, let's go. Whew. Just starts right away. That always throws me off. Whew. Turn this up a little bit. Let's go. Very paradey. Nothing new there. God, I love what they do with the vocals for these every time. Read that one. I was like, it's going down. Literally. I love how they're able to keep all the energy up while using all these sad, depressing chords. God, each one of these is so unique. Despite having the motif work going on and all of it being part of the same, like, event, they're also distinct. Ooh. I shouldn't be smiling this much. I know what's going on during these songs. What was the major lift? They just had a major lift there. Okay. God, the rhythm is so heavy. God. This is the biggest energy that we've had yet. Oh! 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 Okay. I was thrown off there for a second because the video like had its circle thing kind of showing how long we were listening, and it stopped too early. That kind of threw me off. But then it just stopped suddenly anyway, so like, was it wrong? That song was so much parade energy, it was hilarious, you know? Like, I'm listening to this, hearing all of these insanely stereotypical choices for a, like, traditional parade theme, and I'm loving every bit of it. It brought me back to, like, middle school marching band. It was so much fun, but also there's a lot in the energy that it's giving off that makes me think this character has a lot of weight to throw around, and not necessarily in a physical context, especially knowing how the character designs tend to work for Limbus. I assume this character isn't exactly big, physically, but maybe has a really big personality, or at very least is overbearing in their own belief system or what they're fighting for. It's that sort of thing when it comes to Limbus bosses in general. They tend to be more metaphorical, as I'm sure we're all aware, sometimes literal, but the metaphors are definitely stronger. So this one makes me feel like the character has just either a gigantic ego, or just in other ways has weight to throw around, be that money or position in the world. Even if it is just their belief system, it could be all the same, that large inflation of energy showcased in a parade theme like this. And the parade thing might be literal, given I know what the background of this canto is, so I'm fairly in that ballpark that it's probably a literal parade in that way. But exactly how literal is kind of hard to dissect just from hearing a song. But every single time this song hit a major like percussive punch in, where it had all that noise and like everything got really forte, really loud right away, that's exactly what I'm talking about when it comes to like that punchiness, that ego that I'm kind of feeling from here. Something that's as large and bombastic as a character's personality, that ego can be exactly that. So I think that's where it's going here when it comes down to the character, is how exactly big they believe they are. That's extrapolated even further by like the moments in there I mentioned, that major lift. That makes me feel like the character that you're fighting against is like happy to punch you. You know what I mean? Like, there is some high energy coming with this, some pride backed on this. I might go as far as even to say maybe like the core sin of pride may be reflected in this character. I don't know if that's something they go for, but it feels very accurate because this character has so much energy to showcase and to use on you and to make you listen to it. And of course, they're so good with matching that personality in music, as they always are. So it's just like, it's spelling it out for me. This character has to be big in personality at very least. And again, those big musical punch-ins, very brass heavy, very percussion heavy, and utilizing those matching percussion and brass instruments just really to just smack you in the face. Feels like somebody's taking a gigantic hammer and just beating you with it. You know, it's almost cartoony how goofy it sounds. It's almost clown-like. And then you get back to the whole like carnival vibe with that. So it's very possible that this character has a little bit of that. It almost reminds me like, I would say, this is weird saying this, and this comparison might be a little niche to those who haven't seen Has Been Hotel yet, and by the way, you definitely should if you haven't. It's a great show. But this song almost feels like a certain moment in that show that has to do with a character who kind of has like a Victorian dress going on. She's like a cannibal, you know, like it's the whole thing with the plot. I'm not going to get into that, but it's kind of reminded me of her. So I actually kind of wonder how similar they may be in personality. We're like, they're not necessarily bad. Like, yes, in that case, they're in hell, but I mean, to some degree, I assume that's kind of similar here, but not necessarily bad, just kind of done bad things and has bad aspects to them, but is otherwise kind of fun to be around, and maybe for all the wrong reasons, but that might be a good thing in certain ways as well. I don't know why it reminds me of her. It might just be the overall vibe. There is also a portion in Has Been Hotel where that character and the main character are like basically creating a parade. So it's very possible that's why I'm drawing those conclusions and that similarity. But it just reminds me a lot of her. So I wonder how close they may be actually when it comes down to the actual character writing. But I think that'll be about it for me today. I have to go to work very soon. I recorded this video pretty late today, so I've got to go do that. Thank you all so very much for watching. If you have any other songs you want me to get to, of course I do plan to get to Boss 3, and I'll be listening to Boss 1 and 2 back to back prior to that, just so I can refresh my brain when I get to that point. But if you have any other songs you want me to get to, please let me know in the comments below, and I will do my best to get to them as always. And of course, if you just like this video and you want to follow me and support me for those in the future, you know how to do all that, and I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye!